Let's see if this stream is working. Hopefully it does, guys. Yeah, it looks okay to me. Yeah, it looks good. Great. So, let's write this quick. What exactly are we doing today? What else we can do? Block account. Yeah, I think that's actually it. So the idea is okay. I guess this actually this is telling exactly how it should work. Let's go. So we already have a model which we call the account setting. Two-factor options, verification, withdrawal options. I mean, so this is actually the method that we call. So let's have a look for another emergency thing. So this is how we set, and we don't need this twice. So yeah, the question is now, where exactly do we want to store these rules? I would personally make it something like has one emergency password settings, emergency login rules. Security emergency password. That's one root. There we go. So now the user, we can say, actually has one emergency password rule. There we go, and we say build emergency password rules. And what we actually can say is block count we wanted all of these, right? So we can say rescue to vault. Yeah, I guess this is fine. We have cancel orders. So block withdrawals is default true, I guess. Block account. Rescue to vault. Yeah, I guess this is a good feature. This is exactly what we need. Click look if we have a test here for this. Alright. Oh, we make it actually silent lockdown. There we go. So we need to flag the user if he's going with his emergency password that he's actually active with the emergency password. So then the first thing we do is actually here. So that's the very first thing we do. We activate that. We actually right now we are having an emergency case. We are logged in with our emergency password. So that means withdrawals, log, whatever you want. So we actually need to immediately put this into our test that we wrote earlier today. We have a feature test, the login spec, and it says you can log in with your emergency password. However, I expect now the user reload, expect User, we just called it emergency active, so be emergency active, I guess. Let's run this quick. 167. Oh, that's pending migrations. Build the database quick. Our spec features login spec 167. Let's see if this is working. And it's not. User security emergency password rules is not known. That's our association. Emergency password rule. Sorry, it's a rule. There we go. Oh, yeah, of course. We need the reference to the user. There we go. Run the migrations again, and then it's working. And it's a green test, so that's good. So from now on, every time we used, well, this one time we used our emergency password, the account actually is flagged. So we can go on with that. And the very first thing that we should do is, if, let's have a look quick, we create if we block the withdrawals, of course the very first thing we can do is that we cannot create withdrawals. Alright, so let's write a test for this quick. I guess we make a new spec for that. So let the user, we have an asset. Okay, that's Bitcoin. So we have our user. Let's give the user some money quick. The user needs a little bit of money. Yeah, we can just simply say, wait, how to give the user some money? What the heck? We can call, just for demo, like user balances Bitcoin add, and we give him like, I think 25 Bitcoins. That should work. Let's see quick. So if we say now user first at Bitcoin, okay, that's giving 50 on top, that's fine. Great, so the user has 25 Bitcoins, and what we want to do now, it can't create withdrawals, right? So the context here is the block withdrawals true. Is true. So that's the very first, and we obviously update we go here, we make this a new method, this one, def flag emergency. There we go. So we flag the emergency first. So we can call this now for our test suite. User flag emergency. There we go. So and what we expect now, it can't create withdrawals. So let's go quickly and see if we say user, we need a withdrawal address, just a second. Let withdrawal address. So factory, and now we can have a look quick. Oh, we don't even have this. We just don't wallet deposit there, withdrawal address. Okay. There we go. So it's just a withdrawal address. Fine. So factory bot create withdrawal address, and then the user is actually this user, and the asset is Bitcoin, and it needs to be, let's have a look quick, confirmed. So let's make it here in the factory, confirmed true. But in the factory it's not default confirmed, so great. So that's our withdrawal address. And now we say, let's have a look quick. If we go in our model tests and say how does this actually work? Ledger subject. So the subject is factory port wallet withdrawal. Okay. So we can do the same. Let's define our withdrawal quick. So we have block withdrawals is let withdrawal. So the asset, the withdrawal, I guess. Awesome. That's all we need. And we can say withdrawal won't be valid. Or that is not our spec, that is Minitest. Sorry. Expect withdrawal to not be valid. I guess this is then the way we do it. Let's go. So bring the data back to life, the database, and let's run this particular test. It's RSpec spec models, and then we called it security, and then it's emergency password rule spec. And it's 9, 16, but 18, we don't need that. All right. Undefined method asset. Well, asset is called Bitcoin right now. Okay, that should be good. The withdrawal address, we want to withdraw 5 Bitcoin, we have 25, and this should not be valid. Alright, let's go. And this is wrong. This is absolutely wrong. This needs to pass because it should be valid. Let's see. Oh. Then it's to not be valid, sorry. Alright, now it's correct. So we remove this. So now we run the test, and this test will be red because it is valid. Alright, because we simply did not implement the rule that if this is flagged and if this rule is active. Alright, so let's go to the withdrawals. Okay. Validate, and how we call this? We call this no emergency. So then we make a new private method, def no emergency, and we say self errors add, and we call it user, and we say can't. How we call this? User not eligible. If user has emergency. So we need this helper method quick. User emergency. So if the user is emergency and the user emergency, I call this emergency rules, I guess. Emergency rules actually. So in the user emergency rules, it's particular block withdrawals. So we add this error if, let me make a small comment, don't ever allow withdrawal if there is an emergency. Alright, great. Now let's give this test a go. Of course there is something wrong because the association is renamed. So it's build emergency rules. There you go. This looks correct. Validation failed, user translation missing. That should Oh, it's calling the create its build. Sorry. We want to check for those validations. Ah, it's build. Of course, and then we can actually say binding pry and go exactly. And we expect the withdrawal, the errors of the user. I guess it's errors details. What is this, guys? Okay, it's errors, details, and then it is actually the user, and then it is the first one, the error, and that is not illegible. So we can actually test exactly for this. So we say expect, and then it's that one to equal not illegible, right? Because this is exactly the error message that we just implemented, so active record is taking care of this for us. I wonder why to not be valid, why this isn't working. Expect to respond to valid. Okay, it's called that way actually. There we go. All right, now we run this test, and this should be green. It should be green. There we go, awesome. But now, every time you have these critical features, right? Don't just write a test what happens when something is active. You also need to test the opposite when it's not happening, all right? So what we have to do now is here we explicitly actually say don't rely on database defaults. So user emergency rules update block withdrawals is true, right? So there we go. So that's it. And block withdrawals. Now we can say it's true. Can't create withdrawals. And when it is false, can create. So we just set this to be false, and we expect this to actually be valid. Alright, so this is the whole way. So you have a test where you test the one thing that you want to happen, but you need to make sure that it's also still not happening if certain conditions are met. There we go. This is really nice to see. Great. So that is number 1 of our rule set. Number 2 should be a silent lockdown. So normally if you click the lockdown link, your account gets locked down and you get a notification. So I wonder how we actually test this. If we let's go. I mean, this is called somehow in here. The strategies. So this is the problem. Emergency cleanup. We should call this emergency actions. Not cleanup, that's stupid. Alright. User emergency actions. And silent false, and we do less silent. Okay, we make this actually there, and then we say unless args fetch silent, and default is false. There you go. So I can say the lockdown so we flag the emergency, and I can say if we flag the emergency, we make a lockdown silent true. If emergency rules lockdown, how we call this emergency rules silent lockdown. If emergency rules silent lockdown, there we go. Okay. So now we go into our testing. And we say silent lockdown is true. We expect the user to receive lockdown once. I guess we also need to specify the args. So rspec receive args is receive with args. And we need better music here, guys. To receive full width. Okay. I wonder where's my music gone? That's not nice. Well, that looks better. To receive with, and we say silent true once. There we go. That's actually what we do expect. So we call now user emergency actions. It's actually not the next. person. Okay. Great. And then the opposite, it will, so we need to name silent lockdown. It will lock down the account. And on the other side, it will not lock the account. It will lock down the account silent. So this is false to actually. To not receive lockdown, and we expect all right, that looks good. So that's our context. Let's run this. So yes, obviously we need to go the specific test here, which seems to fail. And then we go here and say, have a look. We need to have a look what's actually happening. It is true. It is true, guys. So if I call lockdown, oh, it is also true. That is interesting. We expect lockdown with args. Let's have a look here. Args silent true. Well, what? Okay, let's read this. Expected one time with arguments silent true. Received 0 times. Uh-huh. Well, I guess we need, I guess the test is wrong. I mean, is he actually receiving this method at all? So we say this action is active, so we need to silent lockdown. We call for emergency actions and we expect the user to actually receive the lockdown. Let's see. Expected once with any argument, received once, received 0 with any arguments. Well, oh, this looks weird. This looks weird. Oh, I know why. We have to call these expectation before we actually execute it. Of course, so we can't make an expectation after something happened. So there we go, to return. All right, awesome. So that expectation is met. the user, so we can remove the binding pry here again. So we are calling indeed the lockdown update column lockdown true. Awesome. And then what we can do is emergency actions. Let's see. I expect the user to be blocked, but you never know. Lockdown false. But didn't we just, I mean, we received this, then it doesn't make any sense. I know why this isn't working. Well, there you go. So what happened is that if you make an expectation on a method, it's basically like a listener, and as it gets stopped or marked, however you want to call it, and as soon you call this method, the expectation listener gets satisfied, but the method will not get executed. So that's why you can't call then for actions after, why you can't call for that's why we can't actually check if this method execution, like what's happening inside. We can't check that. So that is green, and this 37 is then, I guess, also green, because now we explicitly check what's happening afterwards. Respond to lockdown. Well, there we go. Awesome. So now this whole thing is green. So we say this is done. Yeah, what we also need is something that if we flag for an emergency, we say so we need actually to find a wallet withdrawal. There are scopes, aren't they? Exactly. Confirmed, delayed. Okay. So we make a scope. Pending. So if we have any pending wallet withdrawal, we say cancel. And that actually goes into the goes that into lockdown? Of course. That is not block withdrawals rule. That is fucking lockdown. So we say so we say okay. I guess that looks good. So if you log in with your emergency password and you decided to lock down your account in that situation, of course, we want to stop all ongoing withdrawals. Just in case, man. So we try to stop those. And if you have the email confirmation, then we just make it silent. I wonder, is that actually a correct word? I think it's a double L. It's not. Shit. Never mind. So, there we go. This should be good. Try to stop withdrawals. So then the lockdown is doing that for us. Great, that is implemented. Awesome. So block all withdrawals, and of course this leads to block account, stop all ongoing withdrawals. There we go. All right, cancel all orders. Let's do that. So if we go for a lockdown, now if we go for the emergency, then cancel orders. If we cancel orders, then we need to cancel all orders. We need to cancel all recurring buys. Yes, we need to do that. So how do we do this? Recurring buys, orders, has many orders. Oh, that's the order, sorry. Scope, we don't have scopes here, but we have states. So we make a scope for the order and say scope open and say where state is open, and we make a scope closed where the state is indeed closed. And what we have to do is orders open each order cancel. I guess you can just call cancel here. No. Oh, we don't even have this method yet to cancel an order. Wow. See guys, there is missing some functionality here. Interesting. Let's have a look here. So we did not implement this yet. Models, order spec. There's nothing with there's nothing that we can close an order. Shit. Functionality, market order, scope test. So we make a context cancellation. It can be cancelled. I guess we implemented the limit already. No. Okay, this is a big to-do. So I'm just writing it down now. We need actually, if there was a future limit order, if there was a single order with a date. Is this actually possible with a date? Schedule end, schedule start. So that goes into the scopes actually. Pending. It is getting complicated, guys, I can tell you that. It is getting really complicated here. All right, so let's go here back. So what we try, let's explain this here. We try to cancel all orders. And that means all orders that are open, try to cancel. So actually is, we just call it cancel and then rescue next. So if in case there's an exception, the user still logs in and this all thing can't break. So just rescue. I mean, we give our best. We can't promise anything, but we tried. Okay, so cancel an order. How do we cancel an order? Def cancel. We make it the state cancelled. Okay, now we have a state for a cancelled order. So just in, I mean, and then of course, very important, def cancelled. No, we make it different, just a second. And if it executable, that's the question. It's not just, hey, do I have volume left and do I also have to be open? So that's the first question here. Am I an open order? I am not cancelled. So there needs to be something here. Hey, def open state equals open. Okay, so an order can only be executed in the future if it's open. But I wonder, execute isn't calling this method. That's pretty shitty now. Let's see quick what we did here. Execute is called recurring by order. There we go. There it is. So if the order is executable, execute. But I guess we still need to call it here. That just protects us from not executing an order that is expired. So if executable. Else there you go. And now I guess cancel all orders seems to be good. So let's write a test for this. Okay, so we make the context. So first of all, we need to actually create one or two orders. You know, we want to create a few orders and then we can actually test it that they get canceled, right? So let's quickly see how we dummy create orders. Order spec. Oh, we can, I know how we do this actually. We can simply say We say it will cancel all ongoing orders. All right. And what we do here is the user create buy order. And it goes for the, oh, he don't have euros. Just a second, we give him a few euros. So he has enough money to buy stuff. The user create buy order. Let's quickly look. Create buy order. That's the order, and we need the args. There we go, with the limit. All right. So we say that's our market, and we want to buy 1 Bitcoin for $5. Okay, that is order 1. And that is order 2. Yeah, we need just 2 orders. I guess that's good enough. Let's quickly validate this, because these orders should not be executed now. It's like 55. Let's quickly 56 is it? I'm not sure if this limit order system is yet implemented, but it's not amount, it's volume. I should change that. Volume below minimum amount, right? I guess minimum is $10. So we better order for $10. Oh shit. What is my minimum here? Buy order volume. Oh. Well, that doesn't make sense. Sorry. That was stupid what I did here. I have to say my volume. I don't like that, but let's see. My volume is 10 euro. There we go. Now it's working. Quote must exist. That is interesting. It seems that we can't create future orders now. That is bad. I want to test this quick. What did we make here? Let's see. So here we can create an order. Well, that's stupid. It's the same code. So why isn't this working? And it's also working that the order is open right now. It's like, and it stays open. It's in the system. It's pending. So I wonder why this isn't working in test environment, but I assume it's because we don't have prices. There was an error message. The error message was Quote must exist. And if we look for this, where is this coming from? Oh shit. Quote. Is there some validation on quote somehow? Ah, I know why. There is no let euro. There is no selling pair for euro. Sorry. And now, of course, we can create these stupid orders. There we go. Good. All right. Wait, no, not okay. 58 it is. 58. What? Let. So with a bang. Now it's bang this. Great. So we have now actually order 1 and order 2. This is working, I guess. All right, awesome. Now we have these orders and they are actually having the state open. So what we expect now, first of all, we expect order 1 to be open, which we can do. It is this syntax. Okay. And we expect order 2 to be open. However, the next thing we do is we actually say user cancel withdrawals, cancel orders. So we set this to true. Okay. And the next thing what we do is we call for emergency. So we do this and then we say expect order 1 reload to be cancelled. Right? That's what we actually really expect. So we call for emergency actions and then the next thing that happens is we expect this to be cancelled. To be cancelled. I guess that's how it's called. And the order doesn't have this yet. Great. That seems to work. Let's quickly check it this way. I wasn't really sure. Okay, great. So that's working, guys. If we call this cancel, it will not and we can say this stays open. Ah, that's not 58, it's 72. There we go. And booyah, it's green. So I guess we can oh shit, what is this? Initial, what the heck? What? The scope for the withdrawal is broken. So I break shit. Scope where state is, well, that's interesting. Scope pending where state is confirmed or delayed. Well, how is this not working? Buddy. Wow, this is interesting. Let me quickly have a look here. Oh, I know. Wow. Of course, my scope is wrong. Guys, a scope is always an epoch. There we go. It needs to be callable. That's how it's called. Awesome. Cancel all orders. Done. And that's actually pretty good. Now I wonder what happens if we just run the whole aspect suite. Maybe did we break something? So I'm really interested in that. I hope not. I hope there's no F, because this will be messy and ugly. Okay, awesome. There's one error, which is if, of course, I know how to fix this. Withdraw spec 27. So it's actually if you don't have the user. So we have to say if user. We can say user try emergency. There you go. And now it's good again. So we go models, wallet, withdrawal spec, and you say line 27, and this is a green test. So what happens is if you make validations like this, you call user something. However, if you do not have a user, of course, this is throwing an exception. And because you always test the validations, that's where RSpec is setting the user to nil. So then validations fail. There we go. All right, everything is green. That's pretty good. Let's have a quick look if there's some unused code. Oh my goodness. Is here something unused? That's okay. Maximum reach, that's okay as well. Withdrawal address, confirm, that's okay. Wait, what? I don't understand this. Didn't we had this earlier today at 100%? Why not anymore? Let's run this again. Wait. Alright, clear this. And run this. I just realized you guys don't even see our test suite here. Let me fix this for you guys. Editor. Alright, I'm really sorry for that. Nobody told me. I guess now it's better. Sorry. Alright, let's have a look. This looks better, guys. This looks better. So let's see. User. There's one line of code which is not used. One line. Try to stop withdrawals. Oh, of course. Well, let's make a test for this quick. So, silent lockdown. It will. Nah, actually, that's the lockdown spec. I don't want to test this here. So we make security. Fuck, how we do this? No, that's a feature. That's a lockdown. No, that's not what we want. So we say user context lockdown. It will cancel all pending withdrawals. So let's do this quick. And we have a withdraw. Just a second. We do this. I want to copy pasta this whole block. So we have just a subject. Oh, we copy and throw this whole thing in. All right. Let user withdraw. All right, awesome. Bitcoin user. I guess this is working because if you say something like build. Nah, we do it. We keep it this way. This is better. All right. So it will cancel all pending withdrawals. So all we have to do is withdrawal save. Right, and we actually then call user lockdown, and what we expect is that withdraw reload should be cancelled. Yeah, there's a state called cancelled. Awesome. So that's what we can do. Let's try this. So this is it's the line 100. R spec. What we got here? Models user spec line 100. What? I guess a withdrawal isn't valid at all. That sucks. Oh, he don't have balance. Oh, of course. Well, we want to withdraw. Okay. Great. Then we call user lockdown and we expect. So let's run this. Nice. Wallet withdrawals pending. Oh, unconfirmed is also pending, Tim. Dang. So this is clearly a scope issue. There you go. All right, nice. Awesome. That's working. Just a second, guys. All right, we are back. So this seems to be working nice, actually. Great. So this is done. Right, awesome. So then let's run RSpec again. Okay, that looks good. And if we run the coverage, let's have a look there. Well, that's okay. Yes, that looks good, guys. All right. I guess we did a lot of stuff here if we have a look. Man, lots of code. So we commit this quick. And we say right. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you guys had fun. Actually, it's a very sensitive topic with security stuff, and I take this very serious. So I really try to make it as good as possible and write as many tests as possible just to ensure that it's really working. We see each other tomorrow 8 o'clock in the morning when we go back and creating the future. See you guys.